order. It's 7:31. Roll call, please.
Alderman Ames.
Here.
Alderman Catalano. Here. Alderman Currielli.
Here.
Alderman Messina.
Here.
Alderman Sosmarsky. Not here. Alderman Woods.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it, Mayor?
I didn't hear say Peter, so Alderman Jacob.
Okay.
Just for the record.
Okay. Up first, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the last committee
I'll make the motion.
dated September 8th, 2022. And you have a second as well. Any questions, corrections? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Report and recommendation. I have 3 reports. The first is an approval of purchase agreements from Landmark Sign Group for purchase and installation of city wayfinding and entryway signage in an amount not to exceed $50,421. Did you have a presentation for that, Director?
We do, yes, Chairman.
Okay, and we'll direct. I guess both directors now I can say. Okay, directors,
Yes.
that's all yours.
Thank you, Chairman. So this evening, the proposal recommendation to you all is to approve the purchase of city wayfinding and entryway signs. This is essentially the last phase of the existing city sign project. Jumping into a little bit of history, going back to 2013, the city engaged the Lakota Consulting Group to prepare an updated signage plan. After several drafts were presented in 2016, a revised comprehensive entrance and roadway signage plan was adopted. This plan was also reviewed by the Streetscape Committee, and the various sign options, designs, and locations were reviewed and provided a recommendation to the PCB Committee. In 2017 through 2021, the street signs were installed, the signs at the metro station were completed, and the entry sign installation began. Since then, signs have been illuminated and landscaping has been added. A little bit of more background on the city wayfinding signs. This was also highlighted in the 2021 strategic planning session and hopes to continue wayfinding and city sign programs. Essentially, the goal of this is to enhance the city branding and to highlight key locations throughout the city. This expense is budgeted within the tourism fund, which currently has $75,000 allocated for community signage, and the estimated cost for this project is $50,421. This is the sample design, as well as a picture of a current wayfinding sign that's installed across City Hall, again, keeping consistent with our city branding. The proposed locations, as mentioned, were presented by the Lakota Consulting Group, and the Streetscape Committee narrowed down the finalized locations, and there were several factors taken into consideration when identifying where these signs should go, such as finding areas of high visibility, as well as ensuring that there's proper spacing between various signs. The wayfinding signs would be attached to streetlights where possible, and if there is no streetlight nearby, they would be on freestanding poles. If that's the case, Public Works would complete the installation. Some other considerations is that the total cost for the purchase and installation for the wayfinding signs is $33,790. We would work with the vendor to ensure permitting with IDOT, DODOT, and as potential redevelopment continues within the city, additional signage may be brought to City Council, but that would be as a separate city sign project. And with that, I'll hand it to Director Lang for entryway signs.
Thank you, Wilbert. In addition to the wayfinding sign network, we're going to continue with the installation of entryway signs at key corridors around the city. You can see the map on the left there has the existing sign locations, as well as the standard detail on the right. All of those locations received landscaping upgrades this past year, and we're currently working towards powering all the locations as well. The next area identified for installation of an entryway sign is near the intersection of Irving Park and Edgewood. The cost for furnishing and installation of that sign is $16,631. The right-of-way over there is pretty compacted. You got a lot of utilities, a lot of trees, signs, a lot of driveways, so we have to be conscious of sight lines. We're going to try to get it as close to the location where the existing sign was as possible. But there is the possibility that we may need to relocate it, and it may necessitate relocating some of the sidewalk, because we obviously want to keep it off the roadway so it doesn't get damaged by plows and vehicles and such. For this, we are working towards obtaining an IDOT permit, and once the sign is installed, we'll be sure to get the landscaping upgrades that the other signs have received and provide power to it as well.
Question?
Question? Okay. Alderman
Does,
Catalano?
Yes, does the urban park sign, is that going to be illuminated? Is included in that 16,000?
The cost to provide the power to the sign is not included. We've been doing that separately out of our operating budget.
Okay, so follow up.
Approximate.
So, I mean, there is some signs that have been lit up yet, the one on Mill Road. I mean, I see the wires out there, but they haven't been hooked up. So how long is it going to be once we pass this and, you know, they put the signs up? How long is it going to be till we illuminate them?
So for the Mill Road and the Addison Road signs, we've actually just brought the power to those signs within the past month, and we are coordinating with ComEd to get the drops in there, so we should have those power relatively soon. For the Irving Park sign, we plan to coordinate the power along with the installation, so it'll happen simultaneously.
Okay, so we're not going to wait 2-3 years down the road to light them up like we
Correct.
did with the other ones, okay?
Was there an approximate cost? I thought I heard 9,000 in electrical for each sign.
That was the approximate cost for both locations for Mill and Addison Road. And those were relatively long lengths that we needed to run, as well as crossing under Addison Road and getting a DOT permit, so slightly higher administration costs. Depending on the actual location of the Irving Park Road sign, we're hoping it'll be less than that.
Okay. Did you have a follow-up?
No.
Okay. Alderman Woods?
Yeah, the Addison Road sign, do we have the repair of that one in the works?
We do. We've been trying to repair in-house as best we can, but sometimes it does necessitate getting additional pieces from the sign manufacturer, which can take, higher lead times. But we are working towards repairing that sign.
Yeah, I mean, that face looks like the whole face needs to be replaced.
Right, which is one of the reasons why we want to make sure that we keep these sufficiently far enough off the roadway in the future.
And to follow up, since I saw you have the conduit run directionally bored Addison Road, do we have a time frame for them to liven that up to actually power it?
We're hoping within the next few weeks. We've already been coordinating with ComEd on that, and we just had to bring the power to their pole.
All right, thank you.
I had a question, but I think it was just answered. With some of the construction that's going on that side, so we're talking the north side, north side of Irving, would that impact any of this work?
I don't believe so. I believe that's a bit west of here.
Yeah, just west, okay, that's what I thought. Because we're just teetering on the border of Bensonville, essentially, right by Osti,
Right.
essentially, okay. Any other questions? Mayor?
That sign on the far, so we couldn't put it on that little piece of grass on the other side of the sidewalk, right? Because somebody owns the property,
You're saying
correct?
all the way to the eastern end here?
Yeah,
Yeah, that undeveloped lot there is actually within Bensonville, but just below that, where that sidewalk does that jog to the north, is actually where the existing sign was. So. it's-
right, but it was on this side of on the
Right.
street side.
Right. So ideally, it would be near that same location, possibly on the other side of the sidewalk, but we do have to keep in mind that that's not in city limits, so it'll require further agreements and permitting through Bensonville,
Right.
as well as there's.
To go on the other side of the sidewalk? Because it looks like their sidewalk stops. The
The-
red brick?
The city limits is right on the edge of that, where those buildings are. You
Right
can
there.
see my cursor.
And
That's
there-
the edge of the city limits. So
And
the
there's a
existing
sign
sign was
running that
actually,
line.
Yeah, I thought there was
Isn't
already
there
another sign.
presently a business sign there?
yes, there's a dentist sign
Right there.
about
Oh,
here.
right there.
Yeah, so we don't want to be conscious that we're not blocking that, which is why we looked at possibly relocating the sign back here, but again, we have to coordinate with existing utilities and all those
They'll be
considerations.
blocking all the future political signs, too.
Yeah,
Right.
whatever.
Okay, so the plan is to relocate it a little further west?
Correct.
Okay, got it. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Okay, there's Ash. Yep. Maybe.
So with
Other
the
names?
gateway signs or entryway signs, does that correlate at all with the population signs? Like when you enter into the town, how it says what the population is? So are those still as they are, or are they changing also?
Direct.
Those are updated by the county, actually, and then the city is responsible for further maintenance. But when the population gets updated based on the census, the city or state comes on and updates those. So that's not directly
Not part
related
of
to
this,
this. no.
okay, thank you.
I had a question about the wayfinding signs. The destinations that are listed, are those going to be reviewed or are they already set?
The text on the wayfindings has been already set. We can review just more of the formatting, but other than that, it's
I
pretty
have
set.
a question about the metro station directions. There's a sign just north of going north on Wooddale Road.
Mhm.
There's a direction to metro station which says go to the right. And then there's one sign just south of Front Street that says also go to the right for metro directions. I'm sort of confused about those two.
The goal is to review the proofs before we approve them. So what the plan is that I will go and visualize where the location is to ensure that the arrows are pointing the correct location, the correct area.
So, Alderman Currier, were you saying that there is an existing sign there, though, that it shouldn't be there?
No, I'm saying that I'm confused at a sign at Front Street that says turn right or go east
Yeah.
to go to metro station. Front Street goes to the,
Or what, if that, is that an
One-way street.
existing problem, though, that he should probably we should probably tackle it, no?
well, he's gonna review that apparently, the sign.
The existing, one. You'll review what's there, like,
The proposed, wait.
oh, the proposed one, okay, gotcha. Okay.
If I could, I believe that that sign on the triangle at Front Street and Wooddale Road is actually meant for north-south traffic, so I believe the arrow is pointing south towards the metro station to direct them to the sign that's on Division to direct them to the east. But we'll verify all
And
all
also, I
directions.
was wondering if you would consider including Community Park as a destination on any of the signs? Since of all the places that visitors might come to Wooddale, Community Park might be a
Yeah.
popular destination.
Yeah, so as we continue to come up with different ideas, we can engage in a different city sign project. Once that is more finalized and we want to have additional signage there, that can be part of a different city signage project as well.
Thank you.
Okay, any follow-ups? Anybody else? Okay, roll call, please.
We didn't get a motion yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve the
Second.
city wayfinding sign in the amount of $50,421.
Okay, and I have the second there. If you could do a roll call, please.
Alderman Ames,
Yes,
Alderman Catalano,
Yes.
Alderman Currielli,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes. Next up, an approval of an agreement between the City of Wooddale and Crown Industries for the Public Works Fuel Tank Replacement Project in an amount not to exceed $27,969, and that would be my motion.
second,
Second?
Any questions? Alderman Woods?
Is this another above-ground tank, and how long do they last?
This is a replacement of an existing above-ground tank, and we found that they last, 10 to 15 years with regular maintenance.
Because it seems like we replaced them once already, so I've been on that long, I guess that's right.
No. We did replace
Go ahead.
the diesel tank not too long ago. This is the split. It was gas and E85, but we're just going to make it a regular gasoline tank now.
Any follow-ups? Okay, anybody else? Roll call, please. We have a motion, we have a second. So, yeah, roll call, please.
Alderman Ames,
yes,
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli,
Yes.
Alderman Messina,
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes. And finally, an approval of a purchase agreement between the City of Wooddale and IT Savvy for the Mondo Board project at City Hall and Public Works in an amount not to exceed $23,200. And I think we are going to have a presentation, or did you just want to field any questions?
No presentation, we'll just field any questions there might be.
Okay.
We'll
Alderman
start
Woods?
explaining the Mondo Board.
Right.
So, Public Works and City Hall, so here at City Hall, we have the PEG pass-through feed, and it was part of our redevelopment of the AV equipment in here. And then also working with Public Works at the new facility, we did a combined purchase for economies of scale. We receive a little bit of a discount purchasing both at the same time. What we're planning on doing here is replacing the projector with a Mondo board. Currently, that screen right there is about 100 inch diagonal, so the Mondo board's going to fit in that footprint. It's also incorporate a touchscreen and Windows 11 Pro PC.
Oh, man.
It's also going to have a speaker bar and then a 4K camera, so it could be also utilized as a Zoom camera and teleconference. And then we're also going to replace the board in their executive conference room with a smaller monitor board to facilitate video conferencing as well.
I was looking forward to Jeff using his dongle still across the room, like it was a
Old school.
1990s, oh, yeah, Wi-Fi. Could those be repurposed somewhere else within City Hall?
The monitor, yes.
Okay.
This projector is quite aged. I don't think
Yeah.
we'd probably be able to repurpose that, but
Okay.
yeah, that monitor in here, we could. And then the same thing at the Public Works facility, in their lunchroom / training room. It'll facilitate a training device and teleconference in their conference room as well.
Bunch of TVs. Nice.
Yeah, a little more than just an average monitor, but it'll be nice for training and conference purposes, absolutely.
Yeah, Zoom.
Totally kidding, yeah.
interactive PowerPoint.
Okay. So all those TVs, or would that screen have the ability, kind of like a smart TV, to have apps on there, like a YouTube?
Sure.
Okay, that's huge. That's great.
Plus, it's touchscreen, so you can walk up and do a touch. You can also, it's Android-based with Windows, so you can flip to the Android side and then
I won't hold that against you.
do, whiteboard to PDF and then export it to PDF.
Okay. Okay. That's great. That's a huge improvement, especially some of the stuff we see, like, I guess, when you were talking about some of the bands, just being able to click on an app right there and see that stuff, seems great. Okay. Mayor?
So since we're doing public works here and we're remodeling the police department, is something going on over there? I know they have cameras, all kinds of cameras already and TVs and whatnot, but
I haven't conferred with the police department yet, no. We'll probably do something similar there as well, yeah, in their training
So
facility.
we take it your new office. Yeah.
okay.
Alderman Woods?
Yeah, just information, have we started the process for new cameras and recording and sound in this room? 'Cause all
Yes.
that'll be wonderful, but we're gonna be the only ones that see it, because nothing else is.
Sure, so I reached out to multiple vendors, and I'm waiting for proposals to come back. I have a third vendor to come on site on Monday. They're gonna do a walkthrough, site visit, and then produce a quote.
Excellent,
just-
thank you.
Would that go to the RFQ committee? Like our RFP committee? I don't know if that's a Jeff question.
I don't think so.
No.
It'd just
No.
be quotes and then come to regular committee.
Okay. I don't know what that would cost, but I'm guessing it's sizable.
The vendors have actually dwindled a little bit, so there's not too many vendors that do that type of specialized work. But
Okay.
our current vendor, AVI, and a couple other vendors are gonna bid,
Okay.
provide proposals as well, so.
Okay. Anybody else? We don't have a motion. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Ames.
Yes.
Alderman Catalano.
Yes.
Alderman Currielli.
Yes.
Alderman Messina.
Yes.
Alderman Woods.
Yes.
And that passes. Items to be considered, I&I, TBD, that's the alphabet. And anybody else? Mayor?
Yeah, when we get to the I&I, you'll tell us exactly what's completed, what's almost completed, so I don't have to ask that night.
Absolutely, you can have that information for you.
Thank you.
Thought that was the standing tradition now. Don't
I
have to
know,
ask anymore.
but-
Don't wanna take away all the questions, right?
Anybody else? Okay. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we are adjourned.
Thanks.